Now the maxilla, it has the upper jaw and it consists of a body and four processes: zygomatic, frontal, alveolar and palatine bone. So these many bones constitute the maxilla. It forms boundaries of three cavities, that is of the mouth, of the nose and of the orbit. So it forms the roof of the mouth, it forms the floor and lateral wall of the nose, it also forms the floor of the orbit. There are forms of two fossae: infratemporal fossa, pterygopalatine fossa, and it also forms two fissures: infraorbital fissure and pterygomaxillary fissure. Now this is the side view of the skull. This is the greater wing of sphenoid, this temporal squama, this external acoustic meatus, the zygomatic bone, this pterygopalatine fossa, postclinioid tubercle, maxillary tuberosity, alveolar margin of maxilla. This is styloid process, this is the mastoid process, this is the tympanic bone, this is the occipital bone, then this is the parietal bone. Then the next one is the boundaries of infratemporal and pterygopalatine fossa. Now this is the infratemporal fossa. First one is infratemporal fossa. The anterior boundary is formed by the posterior maxilla. The posterior boundary is formed by the temporal line, that is tympanic portion, mastoid and styloid process. Medially by the lateral pterygoid plate, which is a part of the sphenoid bone. Lateral boundary is formed by the mandibular ramus. The roof is formed by the greater wing of sphenoid with the foramen ovale in it. The floor of the infratemporal fossa is formed by the medial pterygoid muscle. The superior surface of the medial pterygoid inserts into the mandible. And the contents of the infratemporal fossa is temporalis and pterygoid muscles, maxillary artery and its branches, then pterygoid plexus of veins, mandibular nerve, chorda tympani and aortic ganglia. The pterygopalatine fossa major communications. Before that, there is pterygopalatine fossa boundaries here. Anterior boundary is formed by the maxilla. Posterior boundary is formed by pterygoid plexus. Medial boundary is formed by the nasal fossa. Lateral boundary is formed by the infratemporal fossa. Roof of the pterygopalatine fossa is formed by the greater wing of sphenoid, which opens into the inferior orbital fissure. The floor is formed by the pyramidal process of palatine bone. Inferior end contains palatine canals. The contents of the pterygopalatine fossa is pterygopalatine part of maxillary artery and its branches, the maxillary nerve, that is the maxillary division of the trigeminal nerve, nerve of pterygoid canal, pterygopalatine ganglion and branches. So these are the contents of pterygopalatine fossa. The pterygopalatine fossa major communications are the contents passing through the pterygomaxillary fissure is posterior superior alveolar nerve, maxillary artery. The contents passing through inferior orbital fissure is cranial nerve 5, that is the maxillary division. Foramen rotentum and pterygoid canal, through which again maxillary division passes through, also nerve of pterygoid canal, that is formed by the deep and greater petrosal nerves. So deep and greater petrosal nerves forms the nerve of pterygoid canal. The sphenopalatine foramen, through which sphenopalatine artery, nerve and vein passes through, also the nasopalatine nerve. In the palatine canals you have greater and lesser palatine nerves passing through. Yeah, the space which is containing the pterygomaxillary fissure is your infratemporal fossa. The space containing the inferior orbital fissure is your orbit. The foramen rotentum and pterygoid canal is found in the middle cranial fossa. Spinopalatine foramen is found in the nasal cavity. Then palatine canal is found in the oral